we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means, on infiltration instead of invasion, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. There is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it.
All right, welcome to episode, I think I'm calling this 124 of the Abuse Hour. It is I, your host, Coffee Long, coming to you unsupervised, unmedicated, and an unchecked threat to society. So yeah, man, I am recording in the pedestrian crusher mobile, and I have some good audio finally, set up at the pad, but I got some renovation type shit going on there, so I'm just gonna cruise in the fucking vehicle for a little while. But yeah, the last time I did a coffee break, I posted it. It turned into longer than I had planned on, so I posted it as an Abuse Hour, and the platform I'm using to push that shit out, it fucked me all up on the numbering system. So it's like, oh well, this is actually, and the last Abuse Hour I posted, I tried to say like, okay, yeah, this is 122, and then I put it out there, and it's like, oh yeah, no, you can't have two numbers of the same number on the same. I'm like, dude, god damn it, just put the fucking thing. What do you want from me? Like, there's only numbers because maybe somebody doesn't see it, and now they're like, oh yeah, I could listen to whichever is in order, as though it fucking matters. Yeah, so this is going to be, I guess, 124, that's what we're going to call it. That's it, that's all. I fucking decided. Anyway, I wanted to sit down and put out like some decent quality audio on some quality shit, because I had a few thoughts listening to something that got put out by Rob Rundo, and I don't think I've met this dude personally. So I listened to this thing that got put out, and it's posted on the Nationalist audio chat, and he's talking about his life on the run, his experience getting rolled up, and this kind of shit. But listening to that, there were a few things that kind of stood out. Obviously, this dude's not a professional on either side of the fence where this thing goes, and that's not a knock against. It just is what it is. But even, him being out there as, and again, not to knock the dude, but as like an amateur, the dude was on the run for, I think he said like 6 years or some shit. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to pick some things up, and it's rough because it's kind of like listening to a dude learning to fight with no fucking instruction. Like, yeah, you get punched this direction, and now, okay, you're going to want to fucking not do that. Like, okay, you learn shit the hard way. But I think there were some things in there that we can take a lot away from in regular people, especially just with the way shit is generally going. And I don't know, man, like, you can see some writing on the wall. There's some dodgy shit afoot, and I don't know exactly, that there is a plan for it's going to go this way. But I think just looking generally at the situation in the States, and probably in the West in general, it's kind of like the people pulling the levers are in a spot to say, like, I don't know exactly how I want all this shit to go, but I got a general idea, and whether it's this thing or that thing, here's where I want to end up. And it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like the Trump-Kamala comparison. That, like, this is where we want to end up. We want to end up with an all-brown work camp. That's what we want. Do we get there by sending everybody to fight for Israel, taxing you to fucking death so you gotta, I don't know what, go somewhere, move somewhere, or fucking, pair up and you gotta live 9 to a fucking shanty? Or is it because we just completely erase the borders and invite the whole goddamn world in and give them your job? Which is it going to be? So, either way, you end up the same way with a brown work camp and you on hard times. It's just a question of what road you take to get there. So with some of that shit in mind, I wanted to go over some of the things that I heard in his talk. And then I want to wrap up with, dude, I had actually a pretty good day yesterday. Well, the last 2 days, dude, I had actually some really good fucking days. Spent some time on the mats, got a stripe out of the deal, and worked some half guard last night that came off. And it sounds fucking bugmanish. I know people that aren't into jiu-jitsu, it's bugmanish as fuck. I know that. I appreciate that. But it is fucking fun, and it is a good workout, and it is fucking cool when you can hit a technique and you're like, holy fucking shit, it works. Right? So I had a lot of that shit yesterday, and I rewarded myself with some good snacks, and I get back to the pad, and I'm like, I'm going to sit down, have some good snacks, treat myself to a beer, watch a film, and I ended up watching the most dog shit. I mean, it was so bad. It was, I'm not going to spoil it ahead of time, but it was like a Lefty wall text of a movie, but with, like, somebody really put their back into it. Like, the funding was there. Everything was there. It was just shit. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's like a Lefty wall text come to life. But I'll get into it, dude. There's so much more. It's so fucking great. First, though, the thing I wanted to hit on was, dude, I'll tell you what, I wanted to hit on some of the supplementation ideas. Then I want to circle back to the Bugman issue. Well, no, I think I wanted to hit on some of this, some of the Bugman ideas while I'm thinking of it, because there was some spurgery in the chat where like getting into the weeds with a lot of calibers and makes and models, and is it high end, is it Gucci gun, is it, what is it, and dudes are into it. And I wanted to hit on this real quick because, as opposed to being like a total BJJ hobbyist, the gun thing, like, this was my fucking job for a while. What I will tell you about this, man, and I ain't gonna get in the fucking weeds about this, I'll just say it fucking quick, that a gun is a tool. It's a fucking tool. All right, as a craftsman or as a tradesman or some kind of shit like this, like, your tool is never gonna outperform you, right? So if you fucking suck, like, you're not gonna suddenly become shit hot because you have a nice tool. Yeah, there can be situations where you're really shit hot, you're an incredible craftsman, you're an incredible tradesman, and you're working with trash tools, but you're somehow pulling it off anyways. There's nothing weird about that. That can happen all the time. And then once you do step up to like a higher quality of tool, it's like, holy shit, where'd this guy come from? Like, that's not unheard of at all. That's pretty fucking normal. But generally, the thing I wanted to focus on here is like, there was a lot of, not even so much in the chat, but just generally when you talk about your tools as a gun type thing, like, this can be, just like with the jiu-jitsu thing, like, dude, if you're working fucking half guard in a street fight, you're probably very, very wrong. I mean, unless you're there for like, less than half a second, like you're moving to something else. Like, if you're sticking in half guard, or you're trying to play fucking X guard or some kind of shit, like, you're gonna get hurt really, really fucking bad. I mean, unless you're a fucking world-class guy, in which case you don't need me to tell you these things. Talking about regular people that have, like, yeah, here's fucking X guard, here's fucking half guard, here's how it works, here's some routes out of here, whatever the fuck. If that's what you're working, man, like, you try to pull this shit in a street fight, you'll be so unhappy, so incredibly unhappy. Again, like, if you're the professional, then you don't need me telling you this shit. As gun action goes, though, again, this is a fucking tool. And these things can be very specialized, where, like, this is designed specifically for this, that is designed specifically for that. So if you look at, like, your short-barreled products, like, this is designed for closer in, up close type work. And the reason for that is not just like if you were walking through the bushes and you bump into somebody, because the running knowledge, the working knowledge, learning from the Vietnam situation, was that most contacts happen inside of 10 yards. And looking at what a lot of professional shooters are talking about when they're talking about gun selection, is that they're talking about, look, this is like a drag race that's, they say, 7 yards long, right? So if you're talking about like a no shit, shooting scenario where like, holy fuck, somebody's in my house, or I'm carrying on the street and somebody tries to rob me, attack me, whatever. These things are going to happen inside of like 7 yards is the prevailing knowledge that you're hearing now. Like with us, they say 10 yards, 7 yards, what the fuck ever. It doesn't really matter. Pretty fucking close, right? So guys are talking about this is a drag race for fucking 7 yards. So one, the thing's got to fucking function properly. That's the fucking bottom line. It's got to fucking function properly. So when we talk about function properly, you're talking about not just the tool. And I'm just going to say fucking tool because one, it minimizes my chances of getting fucked with, you know, in terms of, you can't be talking about that stuff here or whatever. But two, it keeps it in mind that it is a fucking tool. And you can use it and do neat tricks and all kinds of shit. I saw this video of some fucking boomer, some old motherfucker doing work with a fucking revolver. And he's doing draw, engage, 6 shots, reload, engage, 6 shots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, reload, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're fucking done. And this motherfucker did it, I think it was like 3 seconds or some shit. It's fucking incredible. But again, this is a very specialized dude in a very specialized situation. And also too, and again here, if we're talking about like this is just some shit I like to do for fun, okay, cool. That's completely fucking different than holy fuck, I'm about to die, I need to do something. I will tell you that shit is 1,000 fucking % different. When you get fucking spun up, I talked briefly about it before, like you're not even going to see those fucking sights. You're going to do whatever you practiced. If you practiced, say you practiced on an AR and you're out here holding an AK, you're going to do what you trained on with an AR. You'll just fucking do it. And you'll be like, and you'll be spazzing the fuck out because you're trying to do what you fucking practiced. Anyway, that's a different, lost again. A different conversation for a different time. So selecting your piece, like, you know, if you are thinking of or training on, like, I want to be ready for X situation. So looking at like, what do you want out of this fucking thing? A lot of people are talking about, you know, like home defense type shit. And, you know, you do hear like Lord Marcus there chiming in the chat, dude, talking about like 300 blackout. So the idea here is that this is subsonic and it's designed, the idea is that it doesn't fucking give you that hypersonic crack. So when you do put like a suppressor on a hypersonic round, like the fucking round is traveling faster than the speed of sound, so there's gonna be a fucking crack. You're gonna hear that fucking crack, dude, and there is absolutely no mistaking. When you get shot at and like you hear that fucking snap, you'll have your full attention on whatever the fuck is going on. If you were doing like a home defense thing and you've got, you know, you're in your fucking house and you fire something off, if you don't have a suppressor on that and it's not subsonic, you're going to be the first to know, dude. You are going to be pretty fucking unhappy because that shit is loud, dude. And you will be like fucking mop, like fuck, that sucked. So there is a logic to like, you know, yeah, let's put something together where you fire this in your house. You're not going to go fucking deaf. Dude, I'm trying to turn. There's a fucking obese bitch crossing the street looking at her fucking phone. God damn these people. So there is a logic to it. Like, why is this like this? It's not just, you know, some shit is a novelty act. You know, like whatever, what is this fucking like bump stocks or whatever. This is a fucking novelty act. Just gets you to burn through fucking ammo. You can go buy some more ammo. Shoot your fucking barrel out. Now you got to go get that fucking worked. But, you know, a lot of shit, though, there is a reason to it. There's logic behind it. The downside, though, is that with something that is hypersonic, it's going to be going a lot slower, and you're not going to be able to really engage as effectively, like, way the fuck out there. And the same thing with, like, a short barrel. Like, yeah, it looks fucking cool. You can cruise around with it. You look like super fucking high speed. But you're not going to be as accurate way the fuck out there, and you're going to lose a lot of ass coming out of that barrel. So to kind of explain quick, the idea here is that a little explosion happens in the chamber. All that pressure that's created has to go someplace, so it goes out the barrel. That's the quickest exit there. And as it's wanting to get out the barrel, that bullet is in the way, so it's pushing it down the barrel. So as that gas fucking expands and that barrel goes fucking, or that bullet goes taking off out the barrel, when the barrel is really short, there's not gonna be as much pressure. There's not gonna be as much buildup that's letting that bullet get fucking pushed out there. All right. So what you end up getting is it's not gonna be as accurate at distance. So, you know, up close and personal type shit, it's not gonna fucking matter. But when you're talking about like 100 yards, 200 yards, you're going to prefer that longer barrel. That's why when you look at fucking sniper rifles, it's these long fucking guns, man. You want to maximize as much pressure as you can behind that bullet so it can stay on a fucking steady, predictable flight path heading all the way out there. Jesus Christ, look at this fucking place. Now, on the other hand, though, if you try to move through a structure, even if it's your structure, it's your house, and you're trying to move through here with this big long ass fucking gun, you're gonna end up unhappy, man, because you're trying to go around corners, you're moving in and out of like a fucking bathroom. Like, can you even get into a bathroom and turn around with a big long ass sniper rifle? No, dude. You're gonna be like, dude, I wish this thing was fucking shorter. And that's why you've got these shorter weapons. So that's what these things are fucking for. So if you think through, like, what am I gonna use this fucking thing for? Then you could start thinking of like, okay, well, I probably won't be on the run from zombies. I won't really need to think about that. I probably won't be hard and raw on the run from the law. So I can work on that last, you know, if at all. You know, the fucking doomsday scenario of like, you guys get in the car, get to safety, I'll stay here and fucking hold them off. Okay, man, maybe that shit has happened somewhere. I don't fucking know where, maybe someplace, you know, not anywhere nearby. So do you need to train for that? Probably not, man. It probably won't come up. But, you know, if you want to practice that, there's nothing wrong with that. Knock yourself out. It's your time. I mean, probably I'll never get in a street fight and have to work half guard, but it's a good time, right? So I do that shit. So I guess the long and short then, man, is that, yeah, like, be a fucking nerd. And I guess I want to say, like, if you want to fucking nerd out and you want to practice fucking reloads on a wheel gun and you want to practice whatever the fuck, dude, shooting at 2,000 fucking yards because it's just your cup of tea, knock yourself out, man. Go fucking crazy. If you do want to say, like, I'm practicing for some no shit concerns that I have, like, you live in fucking Detroit and maybe you need to be able to fucking shoot from a vehicle or exit a vehicle or get back into a vehicle, however you're going to work this thing, then train that shit, right? And nobody can really come and knock you and like, what a fucking dork. And I guess that's the thing where people talk about like gun culture and the FUD nature of it and how it's like this big dick thing. And I'm kind of like, well, you know what, dude? A lot of things are like that. A lot of things are fucking dorky. A lot of things are things that are like, you're never going to do this in real life. You know, like how many people drive really fast fucking cars? And it's like, dude, you ain't ever going to fucking race. You're sitting in traffic in that. Who gives a fuck? But if a cat likes driving a fucking, some kind of pussy magnet car or something, go fucking nuts. I don't give a shit. But at the same time, it's like, don't fucking come to me with like, well, how I'm getting down is fucking solid and what you're doing is bullshit. Maybe the guy is just fucking around. Maybe that's his fucking thing. But that does seem to be a thing in gun culture where it's like, it's cool to fuck with everybody. It's cool to shit talk everybody. Like, what you're doing is fucking gay. I'm out here, you know, whatever, fucking quick drawing my fucking 22 pistol. I'm the shit. I'm gonna fucking assassin. This is my fucking assassin gun. Who the fuck are you assassinating? Not anybody. Quit that shit. But, you know, somehow it becomes cool to shit talk everybody else. And I don't know what the fucking deal is on that, man. It does seem like that's just a fucking thing. Like everybody else fucking sucks. I fucking rule. Hooray for me. I'd say let people enjoy things, but, you know, a lot of times it's these people that are, you know, there's a guy, you know, there's some fucking FUD out there shooting a fucking, some kook fucking caliber and like, yeah, whatever, that's his thing, and you could just leave him to it. But then it's like he wants to turn around and shit talk you for practicing, you know, draw from concealed or fucking reloads or what the fuck you think you go, who the fuck you gonna shoot? They'll drop a bomb on your ass, nerd. Like, all right, shut up, mind your fucking business. Anyway, I digress, man. So circling back to the Rob Rundo situation, man, I kind of wanted to hit on this and talk through some of the practicalities and some of the shit that came out in the product that he put out. So he was talking about, if you don't know the background story, I guess like the background story is this dude was one of the founders of the Rise Against movement. And this dude, these were guys in Southern California that were getting together and training and just like some boxing, some grappling, this kind of shit. And then they went to do like a counter protest thing in, I think it was, I want to say Long Beach in California. And this was, I think, like 2017 or something, man, when shit was hectic. And I actually got invited to that. This dude hit me up and was like, we're going to do this fucking thing. I was like, bro, I don't go to that shit, man. I'll do a lot of shit. I'll help you with a lot of shit, but I am not going in public. And I'll tell you, dude, like my thinking, and you do what you want, man. If you're cool with like, I go out here, I show my face, I'm a voice for whatever, then you go ahead and do that. That is up to you. Me, I don't do that. My thinking on this kind of thing is sort of like, my reasoning behind that is sort of like walking down the sidewalk. I walk down the sidewalk, I don't walk right at the edge of the fucking curb, where if something weird happens, now I'm staring at an oncoming car. All right, I leave myself plenty of fucking space. And it's the same thing here. I like to have plenty of space where if some shit happens, if shit gets weird, I can either one, be out of the way, or two, I have time to figure out and engage and get the fuck away. All right, so this situation with a protest, dude, there could be coloreds, there could be provocateurs, there could be like no shit professional protesters that are paid to be there with a lawyer on standby. And then here's my dumbass coming out here, and what chance do I fucking have? When people start getting rolled up, I'm gonna get rolled up, but I don't have a lawyer's fucking phone number written on my arm. I don't have some kind of deal worked out with the local fucking lawyers where like, yeah, this guy's gonna get a fucking free pass, just let him fucking go. No, I'm gonna end up in there locked up all fucking day. And this is kind of the situation that the Rob Rundo found himself in. So these guys end up going to that protest. And I don't completely remember everything that went down. They ended up getting into it, and they beat the shit out of some of these lefty fucks, dude, which, as we'll get to in due course, like, this is not really a tall order. These people are fucking pussies. They're fucking pathetic. These are real. There's this gag in the martial arts community about I just see red, and the idea is that like people, especially dudes, a lot of dudes will think that like just by default that they can fight. They're like, yeah, I know how to fight. Like, dude, you don't know how to fight. If you have not trained, you do not know. You are quite literally helpless. If you get into it, you are fucked. So yeah, these cats will talk about like, bro, you don't want to be around me, man. When I get fucking heated, dude, I see red and bodies start dropping, bro. And it's like, as soon as you hear this, it's like, you are a fucking amateur, dude. You have no idea what you're doing. And these are always the people that like, they swing wild and maybe they catch you, they get lucky with something, but probably they won't. But when you hear like legit heavy hitters talking, like, not like interviews, but if you ever sit and talk to them, they're always pretty fucking calm. And like, yeah, maybe I get knocked out. Hard to say, man, but I think I got a good fighting chance. That is the nature of this thing. So these guys got out there and they got into it with these lefty fucks, man, and they beat these motherfuckers like no tomorrow is coming. As it happened then, John Law shows up, as predicted. John Law shows up and hits these guys with, yeah, you're out here fucking conspiracy to riot, conspiracy to whatever the fuck, all kinds of assault, all kinds of this shit. All kinds of fucking charges. Some dudes get hemmed up and I think one dude pled out. I can't remember how it all ended up, but this dude was fucking wanted man, Rob Rundo. So he goes on the run and ends up in Eastern Europe. And to kind of draw the parallel, right? Like, how many bar fights, if you're a semi-older dude, you will have at least seen a few bar fights where somebody gets fucking cracked, Or maybe, you know, how many videos have you seen of coloreds beating the shit out of each other for no fucking reason at all? This shit just happens. It's part of the landscape, right? It is what it is. You know, since the fucking George Groyd thing where some asshole ODs, like legit overdoses. Cop wakes him up mid-overdose. The guy tries the fucking cops, gets fucking kneeled on, and now somehow, you know, we're supposed to believe that this guy is the first guy to ever get choked out from a knee in his back by a guy who weighs, I think, like 80 pounds less than him or some kind of shit. So, you know, you can get a fucking idea how many fucking riots then went on because of that, and how many fucking international fucking warrants went out to find people on the run. Like, the feds are going to get behind this shit, and all the fucking destroyed property and the destroyed businesses and the assaulted people and all this shit. We're going to get to the bottom of this shit. No, they didn't do anything like that. Everybody took a fucking knee and was just like, no, they're just frustrated. Just let them do their thing. It was fucking free pass. Total fucking free pass, right? But now this guy, Rob Rundo, no, man, the feds are on his ass, and there's fucking international agencies wanting this motherfucker because he's a bunny ears white supremacist. So I am still in the dark in terms of, like, I haven't seen or heard anything where this guy is talking about, like, white people are superior and everybody else should be eradicated. I haven't seen or heard anything like that. Never have, never once. But because that's what the Hebrew media says, this guy is on the run, and international law enforcement agencies are after this guy around the fucking globe. So the way it played out then was listening to this guy talk. He moved through Eastern Europe a little bit and met some people, you know, whatever. Met a few people, made a few friends, bounced across a couple borders. I think he was talking about he was in Romania, he was in Bulgaria. I don't know where else he was. I want to think he was in Croatia at some point. I don't know for sure. Anyway, I think he was also in Montenegro. But he bounced around a little bit, and then eventually, while he was in Romania, he had been there, I think he said like 3 months, something like that, 3-4 months, and ended up getting rolled up. Like, they found him in a gym that he had been going to and rolled the guy up. He had what was apparently a fake ID. Well, I don't know if this was an ID that was faked or it was just somebody else's ID that he was using as his own. I don't have any idea. So he ends up getting arrested, gets sent back to the States. I think he got sentenced to like 2 years, and then they gave. I don't know, dude. I think he was locked up for a little while. I do remember that, but I don't remember if he did the whole stretch, or he probably did if it was a federal thing. Anyways, so what I wanted to do was talk through some of the stuff that he was talking about and some of the things that probably did not help his situation, some of the things he could have done better, some mistakes he might have made that we can just be aware of and make sure that we don't make ourselves, or, you know, advise somebody else. Like, don't put yourself in a spot like this, right? So straight off the top, man, I guess the overall thing is like being aware, like, how could this go, dude? Obviously, going to a fucking protest where, like, I'm just going to show up and show these Antifa motherfuckers that they don't own these fucking streets. Okay, man, you can do that. But, okay, this is also the potential price tag. Like, one potential price tag could be just, like, you get punched. Maybe another outcome is that you show up and you crack somebody. Or maybe they're just fucking scared and they leave. And you're like, yay, hooray for me. I'm the big dick on the street today. Okay, that's a possible outcome. Clearly, another possible outcome is that you end up being chased by the feds across Eastern Europe. So just being aware of the potential outcomes, like how wrong could this possibly fucking go? And then if you decide that the juice is worth the squeeze, putting some things in place. What will I wish I had done if the worst case thing comes down the pipe? Like, hey, dude, I'm going to go do this thing. I feel absolutely compelled. I have to fucking go. But if it goes really bad, I can end up on the run. What do I want in place? I want some fucking cash. I want some prepaid credit cards. Do you have some kind of way to get an alternate fucking ID? Okay, even if it's legal, yeah, do I have a legal alternate ID? Do I have a second citizenship somewhere? If you're somebody with that kind of resources and you have, like maybe you have, you know, you're a first generation American and your folks moved from Ireland, or second or third generation. I understand there's some places where you can still make that work and you can get back there and be like, hey man, my grandparents are Irish or whatever the fuck. If you've got something like that, man, I would highly recommend lining that up. That could have saved this guy's ass 1,000 times over. If this dude had, like, you know, I don't know, fucking Irish citizenship, or I think Serbia is another place that you can actually pick something up with about as minimal headache as you're gonna get. I mean, it's all a pain in the ass, but you know, if the guy had something like that, was like, no dude, fuck you, this is me and I'm fucking Serbian, this other bullshit, I don't know what the fuck this is, then it becomes a whole different fucking game, man. It becomes a whole different game, and it can become like, you know, as high profile as that is, it could become a situation where, like, even something like Serbia, they could be like, look dude, I appreciate that he broke the law in your country and you want him back, but punching a fucking Antifa guy is not a crime here. And I don't know, maybe it is, I don't fucking know. But it can become a thing where, like, look, I'm not going to be your bitch over this, right? You're not going to just bitch me around because you get to fucking snap your fingers and I cough up one of my citizens. If you have something like that, you're in really good shape, man. This dude clearly did not. So the other part of this is, do you have friends? Do you have hookups? This idea of, like, I'm going to go into the fucking woods and catch trout and just fucking live on the land, right? That's fucking nuts, dude. That's fucking crazy. Nobody can do that fucking shit. You'll come out eventually, or you'll fuck up eventually. An alternate to that kind of thing that I like to think of is the African approach, whereby, like, they don't really go that far. Like, how many Africans, you know, in these major cities have fucking warrants? Lots of them. Fucking lots of them. But they don't get rolled up because they're not very fucking predictable. All right? And what I'm talking about is, like, I'm staying at my boy house, I'm staying at my auntie house, I'm staying at my uncle house. They don't really have their own house. So I would say, if this is a potential thing for you, owning your own shit, like, I own a house, I own a condo, whatever the fuck, and I live there, that makes you so fucking easy to find. Like, yeah, there are fucking economic advantages to this, but if you're easy to fucking find, it's like, dude, I know he's gonna be back here eventually, it's his fucking house. And I don't know, man, maybe you can work some kind of thing of, like, yeah, I get property management and they're gonna fucking you know, rent the place out, you know, it's got lots of food in the freezer or whatever, as is, fucking rent this shit out. Maybe that's an option if you're bad off enough. Easier to just say, like, look, dude, this is the life I'm living now, man. I gotta scoot, dude. I gotta be able to move. And maybe that's the better option for you. As shit gets hectic, one option that I would, if it was me, what I would probably look at is more like, get on fucking Craigslist and start looking for, like, roommates wanted. And, like, yeah, if there's some fucking college kid that's like, yeah, bro, my roommate's bailed, like, I will pay you fucking double. Because, like, if you go to try to get, like, an apartment, even just some shitty apartment, there's a good chance that they run, like, a credit check to make sure that you're on the level, you're whatever the fuck, you know, that you're gonna actually pay. But now you're dicked, because if any of these agencies are watching, they're like, oh yeah, the guy got a credit check at the fucking ABC apartments over here. I know right where he's gonna fucking be. That's no fucking good. All right. If you can hook up with somebody on the private and be like, yeah, bro, I'll be your roommate, man. I'll pay fucking 3 months in advance. And then you only plan to stay 3 months or 2 months, and then just don't fucking tell them and then just fucking bail. That's the much, much smarter money. All right, because now, who's gonna fucking find you here? Unless somebody physically fucking sees you, which we'll get to, physically fucking sees you, knows it's you, reports you, and all that shit can get put together to roll you up before you decide to fucking leave, then you're fucking bomb-proof, dude. So that's me, that's what I would do, is probably like, I need a roommate, I will be your fucking roommate. I will pay you extra, I will pay you several months in ahead, probably I'll pay you 3 months in ahead, but not telling them, I'm only staying like 2.5 months and I'm going to fucking vanish. Some of the other things that got this guy on the spot was, look, man, I respect the big dicking. I appreciate, like, hey, this is how I get down. I don't fuck around. This honestly is what got this guy hemmed up, was just fucking pride, dude. This guy fucked up in that sense. I would say the same thing right to his face. And the way it sounded to me was like, he was kind of on the fence in terms of like, maybe I should have done things a little different. I don't know. But, whatever he thinks of that now, this would be my debrief to him is that, bro, it was pride that got you fucked up here. So when he's talking about, I had this girlfriend. She was hot. I was really into her. And she said to me, like, baby, you should grow a beard or grow a mustache or grow out your hair or get a different haircut or start dressing different. And the guy says point blank, like, nah, dog, that ain't how I do it, dog. That ain't me. I'm not doing that shit, dog. And I'm like, bro, this ain't a fucking fashion show, man. This is your fucking freedom. Like, you're already under the gun enough having to live the way you're living. And some of these places, it's like, yeah, they're probably not going to really care. You got papers, you don't got papers. If you fucking speak the language and people recognize you and understand you, they don't give a fuck. They're not going to fucking report you. They're going to leave you fucking be. And a lot of these places, probably even if somebody did, they'll just be like, yeah, so what? So this guy is he's in Romania, and he had been talking about like, yeah, I'll change locations he says 3 months. I don't know how accurate that is, whether he was really doing that or not. He says he's doing it every 3 months. The dude did have some some skills that he had developed, though, where he was talking about he's going to make his way across the border. And I think he was talking about making his way across the border from Bulgaria to Romania. And he had talked about, like, some dude, like a driver or some shit, told him that, yeah, if you go to this vineyard and you go back there, it's butts up right to the border. You can bounce over the fence. You're in Romania now, whatever. And he's like, yeah, all right, cool. So he goes with this. And then he's talking about, yeah, I had a bag with like some nice clothes in it. And I just wore like some broke ass, black sweatpants and shit. And did that and bounced over the border and then changed out. Or I guess it was like he jumped into a winery. Like he went to the border, bounced over the fence. Now he's in a winery. And, or a fucking like a vineyard with a little winery, a tour restaurant type thing attached. So he bounces over the fence, changes into some nice clothes, goes in there, orders some food, hangs out a little while. He's like, yeah, I'm waiting for my friends, this, that. So this is good shit. So this speaks to something like that we need to fucking be focused on, is your fucking cover story can't be like, well, I'm not doing this. I'm not a guy who just snuck over the border. Like, that's shit, dude. That's not a fucking story. That's a not story. I'm not fucking sneaking in here, that's for sure. Like, no, dude, you got to have a reason to be where you are, and you got to have a reason to be doing what you're doing. In this case, what the guy presented as is he's a tourist, and maybe he's got a little money. He said something about he's wearing some kind of a suit type thing. Okay, cool. So you're a guy with a couple of dollars, you got a fucking suit on, and you're waiting for some friends. His story was that his friend's girlfriend, her visa was fucked up or some kind of shit, so they were delayed. He's gonna meet them later. I'm gonna get out of here, fuck this. So he calls a car. Waiter was totally cool with it. Waiter totally bought it. This is something that as cover stories go, people would do well, people in our thing, should you ever have to use this kind of thing, would do well to keep in mind is that people generally, people who are not cops, people who are not looking for holes in stories, they want to believe you. So you just give them something easy to fucking believe. They want to fucking believe you, all right? So, yeah, I'm waiting for my friends. Some girl fucked up her visa. Oh, no shit, dude. Yeah, the guy wants to fucking believe you. Make it fucking simple for him. So the guy bought it, like, yeah, okay. And down the road they go. So now he's living in fucking Romania. And his deal is that, like, according to him, that, yeah, dude, my weakness is I like going to the same cafes. I like going to nice gyms. I like going to a gym that has a sauna. Okay, great. You can like all of those fucking things, man, but you're liking them to a degree that gets you caught. So, like, you can go to some of these same places. This is what we call pattern of life. All right, so in the professional scene, this is a no shit factor. Your pattern of life. Where does this guy hang out? He likes to go to nice gyms. He likes to go to little cafes. This becomes fucking easy fucking fast. All right, I mean, you can move through like a couple of major cities, probably most of a good chunk of these countries, just using this technique of like, he's probably in one of these 3 countries. Where do we look? Where are the really nice gyms? Well, really nice gyms and places you can move around and disappear are going to be in your larger cities. How many larger cities are in some of these small Eastern European countries? Not that fucking many, man. So look at these fucking larger cities that are right up on the border, you know, within a fucking day's drive of the border. Your major cities with nice gyms. Where are the cafes? Where are the apartment blocks? Start looking here. Easy. Cruise in here. You see any Americans in here? You see any Americans in here? You see any Americans that look like this? And this was the other thing that got him fucking hemmed up. Was he's talking about, no, I'm not changing my fucking haircut. No, I'm not changing my facial hair. No, I'm not covering up my tattoos. And I'm like, dude, you know, you can't have it all, dude. You can go to some of the same places. You can walk around looking like you. You can show a few indicators. You could be a person that stands out. You could do any of those things, but you can't do all of these things. When you do all of these things, you make yourself super fucking obvious. You make yourself super fucking easy to catch. So in this sense, like, look at the kind of person that you are. Like, just start with you. Look at the kind of person that you are. Not who you know yourself to be. Like, you know, you might be, you ever watch like fucking UFC? There's a few of these motherfuckers. Chase Hooper. This kid, like, young dude, looks like a dork. I mean, it is what it is, dude. He looks like a bookish kind of a fucking nerd. There's some Asian kid, I can't remember this guy's fucking name because it's fucking Asian. But again, looks like an engineering student. Fucking dork. These motherfuckers will take somebody apart, dude. They are fucking badass. I mean, even at that level, they're crushing motherfuckers. And, so if they say, well, who am I really? They know who themselves to be, right? But look at you. Like, what is your look? When you walk in, how you walk, how you dress, how you present. What is your fucking deal, right? Now look around. Look around at whatever major city you're trying to fucking blend into. If it's fucking Bucharest, if it's fucking Paris, if it's wherever the fuck. I'm trying to blend in here. I'm trying to disappear here. What can I do that's like accommodates who I am, how I present, but still blends in here? Because you can't be just 100% fucking fake. One of the things I always said when I would teach motherfuckers how to do this is that every single person that you ever meet, you know, they've got their own fucking thing, but everybody you ever meet is an expert in people. Everybody knows what a person looks like. Everybody knows what a person acting natural acts like. If you ever meet somebody from somewhere else, like, you just kind of know, yeah? Like, you ever meet somebody from Eastern Europe? You ever met somebody from like fucking Russia or somebody from like fucking Sri Lanka or some shit? You just fucking know that like this person's a little off. Like, even you've met like some street shit or Pajeets that come to the States. They're here long enough and they kind of, everybody does, kind of calibrate and they act a kind of a way where like, okay, you kind of fit in here. But when you meet somebody that's just from those places, like, they bobble their head a little different, they stand a little different, everything they do is a little different. And because everybody knows what a person should look like, people are like, this person stands out. This isn't fucking normal. So when you're from somewhere else and you fucking fake it, now you're making it twice as fucking obvious. So you can't do that shit. So look at you, look at how you are naturally. Look at what do other people see when they see you. And then start looking around at like what's normal here. How do people dress? How do people act? What are their mannerisms? How do they walk? Are they hauling ass down the road, right? Like, you go to fucking New York, people are hauling ass down the fucking road. People got fish to fry, things to do. They ain't got time for you, all right? You go to some small fuck town, you can't walk into the fucking Walmart to get your next disguise and be like, come on, hurry up, I got places to fucking be. You're gonna fucking stand out. If you walk into like fucking Acorn, Arkansas, and you're like, I got all fucking day, man, I ain't in a big hurry, you're not gonna stand out at all. That's how those people are. And then if you can, like the cherry on top here is to say like, now in this place, who do people want to fucking avoid? So the way he talked about it was like, I went with a soccer hooligan look, and that probably worked for him. That probably worked just fine because, you know, he's a younger guy, he's in good shape. If the guy throws on the Adidas, probably people will just assume like, yeah, he's just a fucking soccer hooligan. The smart money in that situation could have been to take it a step further, get a fucking jersey, get a fucking, a lot of people, I'd say hat, but a lot of people outside of the States don't wear hats. So like baseball hat, this is a dead giveaway American every fucking time. You do see it with like, in UK, I guess, Irish, English, these people will wear hats. But again, not as typical, man. You just don't see it that much. It's a very American thing. But if you can pick out something that's like, yeah, people don't like this shit. So there's a movie on, I think it's Netflix called The Killer. I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, anyway, it's called The Killer, and it's about this it's not super good, but there's a few good takeaways in it. It's called The Killer, and it's about this hitman dude, and he's talking about how he developed one of his disguises, one of his looks. And he says, I copied this look, and he calls it camouflage, which is a good way to describe it. He says, I developed this camouflage based on a German tourist I saw someplace. So people stay the fuck away from me. So he's got, again, like the colors, like he's got these tan muted colors. He's got like a little Kangol looking hat, like a sun hat. Like I don't want to get in the sun. I want to think he had something around his neck, like maybe, you know, you can get these things like a large neck wallet, and you can put like a map in it. Like, dude, that's a fucking tourist, and I don't want anything to do with him. But again, you have to be conscious of the small giveaways, like what kind of sunglasses. Again, Americans, a lot of sunglasses, not as much other places. But what kind of sunglasses? Are you wearing the fucking cool guy, badass guy fucking sunglasses? If you're wearing that shit, you can't fucking wear that, man. Wear something that makes you look gayer. You'll look more European that way, all right? Get rid of that shit. Your t-shirt, your shoes, all this shit, dude. What fucking brand? All of it. I mean, and I don't mean to be a pain in the ass about this, like make it fucking weird, but you're the one trying not to go to fucking jail, man. Help me fucking help you. All right? Go to a fucking street market and get fucking t-shirts, get fucking sneakers from that fucking place. Because now when you walk by somebody at a glance, they'll be like, there's no way that guy is from somewhere else. Look how he's fucking dressed. Like nobody has that shit except people from here. Easy, right? And then, yeah, like the facial hair, the hair grow out thing, this dude said like refused to fucking do it. Like, no, dog, that's my look, dog. I'm not changing that shit, dog. And like, okay, dog, well, now you're fucking hemmed up. What do you want? The tattoos thing, man, that to me, like, yeah, I mean, dude, I have ink, and it is what it is, dude. But it's like, it's a risk that you have to, you can be willing to accept it, but you have to be aware that it's a risk, dude. And if you're going to rock, like, and he's talking about, he's got a black sun tattoo. I don't know where it is, if it's on like a knee or an elbow or a shoulder or fucking what. But be aware, dude, like some shit like this, it's going to fucking stand out. You're going to be very fucking visible. So if you're going to a fucking gym, you know, it's probably not weird to have some ink. That's okay. But, you know, you got to be fucking conscious. Like, yeah, when I go to this gym, I wear a fucking t-shirt because I'm here all the fucking time. So I wear a t-shirt that covers this fucking tattoo that I don't want readily visible. You know, there's probably lots of dudes in Eastern Europe with some fucking ink. If there's not, wear fucking long sleeves. You know, it could still be hot out. You could have a lightweight shirt and still wear long sleeves. Is it fucked up? Is it bullshit? Yes, but so is getting hemmed up in Eastern Europe. That's fucking bullshit. So the other thing I want, I can beat that fucking horse to death, I think. But the other thing I wanted to hit on real quick with this is that this dude was talking about, he'd even changed out SIM cards. My friend, this will not make the cut, all right? It will not make the cut. Again, the deal on this with cell phones, and I've mentioned this before, but let me fucking mention it again. With cell phones, you have something, you have the SIM card, and we all know what that is. That's like your phone number that you put into the fucking phone. But then there's also the phone itself. And the phone has, every phone has something called an IMEI number. And I don't know what the fuck that means. I just know that's what it is. So you could think of this, an easy way to think of this is like a car and a driver. Where the driver, like you come with a fucking license and it says who you are and what your little number is, well and good. You could change out the fucking driver. You could get somebody else to drive. You could sit in the back, hide in the trunk, whatever. But what you're not changing then is the car. So if you're looking for a fucking, Nissan Altima with a license plate from Texas that says 12345, it's not going to do you any fucking good to just get somebody else to drive it. It's the same fucking car. So you're going to get fucking stopped somewhere and they're going to be like, what the fuck is with this? What are you doing in this car? Where's the Rob Rundo? You're like, well, I'm not Rob Rondo. I'm Jane Smith. Look, I'm driving this car. And like, yeah, I know that, but I also know that he was in this car. How the fuck did you get it? Now your sweater starts unraveling. Now you're in fucking trouble, all right? So this is one inroad. And, at a small scale, this isn't something you need to worry about. But if you're being pursued by multiple fucking agencies, this is something you should be concerned about. All right, so you got your fucking cell phone, and this might be how they got onto him initially, is just by this. And if the guy doesn't know, most people don't know. If the guy doesn't know, it ain't his fucking fault. But now you know, so it's your fault. All right, so IMEI number. This is the fucking phone, the SIM card, that is a phone number. You can't just change the phone number without changing the phone. I know in Europe they're real fucking tight asses about their phones. Like, you got to present a passport to get a new fucking phone or get a SIM card a lot of times. So if you're in this spot, you're going to fucking make the jump from Bulgaria to Romania or wherever to where fucking ever, this town to that town, doesn't fucking matter. And you're like, I want to fucking disappear. You go in there with the same fucking cell phone, it doesn't matter. You're right fucking there, all right? You're going to fucking ping. And now they're going to come get your stupid ass. All right, very upsetting. Anyway, moving on then. What you can do then is you got to get a whole new fucking phone set up, all right? So knowing that you got to present a fucking passport to get a fucking phone, the tighter the rules get, the bigger the black market gets. So if you don't know somebody, you're going to have to ask somebody. Ask somebody, can you get me a phone? Do you have a phone? Do you know someone selling a phone? It doesn't matter whose the fuck it is. It could be Carlos the fucking Jackal. They're not actively looking for Carlos the Jackal like they're looking for you. It doesn't fucking matter. All right? So he's talking about like he's got a few friends. He's got a girlfriend. Send her fucking ass to the store. Get me a new fucking phone. All right? Walk in there. I don't give a fuck why. I lost my phone. Send her to another fucking city, for fuck's sake. Buy her some fucking gas. Go over there. Get me a phone. I lost my fucking phone. It fell in the river. Whatever, I just need one to get me through this trip. Okay, great. Send her fucking ass. She comes back with a phone. The phone's in her name. And you're not pinning anything on her. It doesn't fucking matter. If you do get hemmed up at some point, you could just say, dude, I don't know her. I stole this fucking thing. And if she ever gets questioned, she could say like, yeah, I had this and it got stolen out of this bar on this day that I was there. Great. She's protected now. She's protected and you have a phone that works. All right? Good fucking deals for you. So now you got a phone that works. One of your major concerns here then is that if you do ever get spotted, if somebody does pick up on where you are, where you might be, any of this shit, you don't want to start having your phone connected to Bunny Ears you, so you want another layer of protection here. The trouble with modern phones is that you can't actually turn them off unless you go to like, I don't know, maybe like a Walmart or something, and maybe they still have phones that you can pull the battery out of. Most phones you cannot. Smartphones, you cannot pull the battery out of this fucking thing. So what you can do though is get a black bag, a fucking Faraday bag. So a Faraday bag that will block the signals coming in and out. I had heard that like the small metallic chip bag would work. I don't know if it does or not. I wouldn't hang my ass on that. I would not trust that implicitly. If it was a last ditch thing, I'd be like, fuck it, man, chip bag it is. But I would not, I wouldn't bet my life on it. I would go and get like a no shit professional Faraday bag. You can just order that shit if you want. Again, not something you want to have to get at the last fucking second. If this is you, maybe get that shit ahead of time, right? So you want a fucking Faraday bag, and what you want here is, again, to separate the phone from your pattern of life. So if somebody somewhere identifies, right, they go to all these, they know you like the fucking nice gyms, they know you like the nice restaurants, whatever. They go to these places. Hey, you seen any Americans in here? Anybody that stands out? Anybody a little off that hasn't been here before? Yeah, there's this one guy. He doesn't look like this picture because he grew his fucking hair out and he speaks some of the local language, but he said he's from UK or Canada or what the fuck ever, and he dresses like he's been here a while. I don't know. But I don't know. They're going to take a look at him anyway. And now they start looking at places around these restaurants, around these cafes, around these gyms. What cell phones ping here all the time? Okay, if it's yours, they're going to start seeing that one. And if they can walk in there and say like, hey, the guy you were talking about, was he here this day, this day, this day, this day? Yeah, he was here. Okay, no big deal. So we'll just monitor those calls. And if there's, I don't know, man, phone calls back to some other country where they knew that you were, all right, now you're starting to look like a higher probability target. And they're going to start like, okay, maybe this is a potential somebody that we could fucking look at a little bit closer. This guy's got some indicators. Okay. So the way you can stop that then is that you keep the fucking phone separate from your pattern of life. You got to make a fucking call. You got to check your fucking email. You want to get on your fucking phone, whatever. Do that shit away from your apartment, away from the fucking gym, away from this shit. Does that mean you can't ever get on the fucking internet at the house, whatever? No, it doesn't mean that at all. I would probably get a separate cell phone for that. They're like, here's a fucking phone that I only use for smartphone. It doesn't even have a fucking SIM card in it. I only use it to get on the internet at the house, at whatever. Be aware that cell phones do still, even when you don't have a SIM card in it, it still bounces off the fucking towers. All right, that's why when you fucking turn a phone on, even if it doesn't have a SIM card in it, it'll say like SOS. Like you can make an SOS call, like holy shit, something's on fire, whatever the fuck, right? Because it's still pinging off those fucking towers. So something to be aware of. So the deal there then is that you keep that shit separate from your pattern of life. You put it in a fucking Faraday bag when you're going to go to your favorite fucking gym that you've always been going to. You're going to go to your favorite fucking restaurant that you always go to. Leave that shit bagged up. You can live without a fucking cell phone. A lot of people have done it for a very long time. Okay? And then, and all this shit can move kind of on a gradient. Yeah? So like you're just getting to a place. All right, man, you got to use your phone. You got to do whatever. You got to get shit set up. Okay, do that shit. Or you're just getting ready to leave a place. Okay, I've been real strict with this, but I'm out of here in like a week, dude. That's not going to be enough time for them to stand up a fucking task force. I'm fucking disappearing. Okay, cool. Do that shit too. But what you can't do is allow a pattern to develop, and that is what this dude did. So looking at how this dude got pinched, man, he had mentioned that he had this gym that he was always going to. He had an issue where he had his locker was getting stuck, and he's trying to get the thing to fucking open. And now some dude comes up to him and is like, hey, can I help you with that? In English. And he's like, it was weird to me. Like the dude just knew I spoke English. I don't know. It was fucking weird, but he helped me get my locker open. And then there's another situation where the girl at the front desk, who he says he talked to once in a while, a little flirty, I like a little conversation, a little chatted up. Okay, great, have a little chatted up. But motherfucker, you got rolled. What the fuck? Use your head. And I mean, I hate to come down hard on a guy, but this is fucking amateur night shit, dude. Do you want to get caught, or do you want to just roll as a big dick? This is the same kind of thing I had with biker clubs, dude. Do you want to be a secret squirrel, high-speed fucking criminal, trafficking fucking drugs and guns and girls and doing your fucking thing and make $1 million? Or do you just want to be a big dick swinging goofball riding down the road with your loud fucking bike? Everybody knows who the fuck you are. You can't have both. You can do either of these things, but you can't have both. Do you want to flirt with every fucking girl you see? Do you want to roll with your style, dog? And, I ain't fucking faking it, dog. I keep it real, dog. Okay, keep it fucking real, but be ready to get fucking hemmed up. Asshole. So, yeah, this guy's talking about, I do a little flirty flirt. I do a little chatted up with the girl at the front desk. She likes my style. She likes my flavor. Great, she likes your fucking style. Motherfucker, this is a fucking monster lesson that drives me goddamn nuts, all right? Let me say it as slow as I fucking can. A fucking plane ride did not make you better looking. All right? this especially for Americans, this drives me goddamn insane. And I had to get in motherfuckers' asses constantly about this shit. You flew to another country. You flew a few time zones over. You didn't suddenly become fucking charming. You didn't suddenly become super cool and super good looking. Motherfucker, they want your fucking money. All right? You go to a lot of these shitbox countries that I worked in. These broads do not like you. All right? They don't really want anything to fucking do with you. But they know that if they spread their fucking legs for an hour or two, that they are going to keep the lights on at their house for the next couple of months. That's how much they're going to grease you for. They're going to ask you for little favors, help out their friend, get me a fucking phone, get me a purse, get me anything I can fucking resell and put food on the table. Because you're so cool, you're so handsome, Joe. All right? They will work your fucking ass. And I saw one motherfucker that was no shit going to ditch his wife, was going to divorce his wife for an Asian whore. And I was like, dude, use your fucking head. This bitch hates you. Look at the way she's snapping her fucking fingers at you right now. Come pick me up right now. I'm waiting for you. What the fuck you're doing? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're going to shit can a perfectly good white woman and all of your self-respect for fucking what? For this shit? This bitch hates you already. What the fuck are you doing? But motherfuckers forget this shit. And for my money, and I wasn't there. Okay, I'll fucking lighten up now, but I wasn't there. I don't know how the shit went down with the Rundo, but quite probably, there's a good chance that somebody said, hey, we'd like you to, chat him up a little bit. We think it might be this guy that we're looking for, international criminal. If you just chat him up, just like see where he's from. So he says he's talking to this girl, and she starts talking about like, hey, I tried to find you on social media. You don't have any social media. I don't know if she speaks English or fucking what. I don't know. But she says, like, she looked for him on social media, and he didn't have any social media. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, I don't. I just don't have any social media. So, I don't know. To me, man, like, I have a hard time imagining some girl admitting, some girl that you're not in any way developing anything with, admit to stalking you. That's a little bit suspect. But moreover is just the fact that, like, dude, this smells like an obvious fucking probe. Like, ask the guy, see if you can get like his social media, find out anything else about him, get some details. We just want to know if it's this guy we're looking for. That coupled with the locker thing, I mean, I will say that some of the shit that I have seen on the operational side, I don't know how to say this exactly, man. Like, you would be impressed. Like, you would think, I think one of the ways that people get hemmed up is they say, like, man, who's going to go to that kind of a length? Like, dude, when somebody fucking starts narrowing down, like, in the big picture, they're not going to go to, every fucking gym in every fucking city and be like, hey, start collecting information on every foreigner that's ever walked in here. Like, see if you can find social media. Nobody's interested in that shit. But when you start narrowing it down, when you get a few red flags, you get a handful of indicators of like, this could very well be, there's nothing, that's telling me that this isn't that guy, right? If he walks in there speaking perfect fucking Romanian, and he knows all the local customs and he's, people say, oh yeah, I've known this guy for a while. Yeah, maybe he paid for that, or maybe, this is just not the guy. It's a bigger question mark. But when you've got everything about you is a big fucking red flag, it is not a stretch to start thinking that these people will go to some fucking lengths. So, I mean, dude, I wish I could tell more stories. There's like pretty much anything that you could think of as a coincidence that, like, wow, that was certainly coincidental. I mean, anything. Accidents in restaurants, accidents on the road, people bumping into you, people that you saw somewhere before that just magically ran into you in this same place. Dude, I ran against one agency that like the exercise was we were supposed to follow this guy around a city. This was stateside, but we were supposed to follow this guy around a city, And when you do this, sometimes other agencies will use you as what they call a rabbit. So it could be fucking anybody, dude. It could be Secret Service, it could be CIA, it could be fucking the fucking Israeli FBI, whatever the fuck. But if like the word gets out that there's an exercise happening, people will come and they'll practice their own shit on you, like using you. Like you're gonna follow that guy, but then you not knowing that there's gonna be other people following you. So you'll see weird shit, but you're just supposed to fucking, you know, like if you see weird shit, don't worry about the weird shit, just focus on what you're doing. So I'm following this fucking guy and I'm trying to fucking just like, it's just a small scale exercise, really. So I'm following this guy and I see some weird shit, but I'm like, all right, just fucking let it be, dude. So I go in this one place and he goes into this one place. The job is I'm supposed to get pictures of him. And I'm in there working with someone. So the deal is like, we're in this decent restaurant and I'm like, bro, we're visiting. We're talking to the bartender. We're doing this. We're seeing some shit. Here's a nice place. I'm like, hey, bro, let me get a picture of you. So now when you do this picture taking thing, the idea is like, you're going to take a picture of your subject, like your guy that your friend, right? Take a picture next to that painting or that picture or with this menu or with the bartender or whatever. But now when you take the picture, they're only going to be in one small piece of the picture. The rest of the picture is going to include that guy in the background that you're trying to get the photo of. This is normal shit. Like this is day one shit. So basically, as an operator, anytime you see a camera pointed in your direction, turn the fuck around, right? Because if we're doing it to other people, then you know somebody could be doing it to you if you're the rundo, right? So, hey, let's get a selfie. Yay, girls, yay. And now that camera's pointed at you. Fuck that, man. Turn the fuck around. Walk on out the fucking door. So what I find out later, like I'm sitting there and when we made the decision to take this picture, to do this thing, like we're going to get this picture in here. I'm sort of like looking up and down the bar like, all right, who else is in here? Is anybody else like going to make an ass of me, you know, like fuck me over and take a picture of me, taking a picture of this guy? No, I look cool. I think, you know, and I'm kind of looking and I'm listening to what's going on. There's like only a handful of other people at the bar. There's like a couple boomers down at the far end. There's some guy that's like, looks like he's a guy in a suit on his lunch break. Maybe that guy, but he's like eyes on his shit and he's just, you know, doing his fucking thing. There's a guy next to me, like right fucking next to me, that's talking to the bartender, but he's like, he really looks like just a guy at a bar in the middle of the day. And he's got like a broke ass baseball cap and he's talking to the bartender and like the way he's talking about was like about something that happened last Thursday or watching the game in here last Thursday or some shit like this. I remember, and this was from years ago, but I remember this shit. Like, yeah, I was watching this shit. Yeah, I was in here last Thursday because I had the game on it. And I'm like, all right, this guy's definitely not working against us. So if I'm over here, you go stand, okay, yeah, this is going to fucking work. And god damn it, if that motherfucker didn't turn out to be one of the guys following us. So we walk in there at the end of this thing for the fucking debrief. And here's a picture of me taking a picture of the guy. And I'm like, fuck! Like, god damn it. And I knew exactly who the fuck it was because I could see right where the fucking angle is. And the only person who could fucking do this was the guy sitting right next to me. And I asked, I'm like, it was that fucking guy in the hat, wasn't it? And they're like, yeah, that was our guy. And I was like, shit! So what I'm getting at here is like any of this shit that seems like a coincidence, man, there are no fucking coincidences. So this shit of like, oh, my locker got stuck. Oh, here's a guy that can help you. How can we confirm if this guy speaks English? How about if he's in there and his locker is stuck and I can offer to help it, but when I talk to him, I speak English. Okay, try it out, dude. So I don't know, do some kind of fucking thing, put some sticky shit in his fucking lock and like, yeah, these fucking stick sometimes, dude. Here, let me fucking help you. I had to do it to mine too. And I don't know, spray some fucking WD-40 in there. Here you go. Here, I had to bring it in here because mine got fucked up too. But you're doing this in English. If the guy doesn't speak English and he's like, yeah, I'm the boy mouse, what the hot? It's like, what the, okay, yeah, this isn't our fucking guy. And now he can be like, oh, sorry, I thought you were the, you know, in the native language. I thought you were this other guy. Sorry. But yeah, this happens to my locker too, man. No big deal. There, you just confirmed if the guy is an English speaker. This narrows it down considerably. And now the chick at the front, well, where's your fucking social media? Let me find out exactly who you are. Now this is going to really pinpoint, like, is this who I think it is? And what it kind of tells you, though, is that, you know, the way that he played it was like, yeah, I don't have any social media. Okay, he's saying his name is like something fucking Serbian, Markos Lursovic or some shit, you know. So you don't have any social media. You don't have any way to confirm that you are this other person. So now what? You're a native English speaker that claims to be a fucking, I think he was like saying he was Croatian or some shit. You're claiming to be Croatian, but you don't have any social media and you're a perfect English speaker. What does this look like to anybody else? If you looked not at all like the guy they're looking for, well then what does that tell us? Then it would be like, well, maybe he's on the run from something else, but he's not the guy we're looking for. But you went around continuing to look like you. So now what? So you can see how like it gets very small very fast, dude. And it kind of sucks when like you're playing in somebody else's game. Like you're going against professionals, but you're having to learn as you go. This can kind of bite you in the ass. Moving to the fake ID thing then, is that if you're going to be another person, you have to be another person. It's not enough to be not you, okay? If you're going to be another person, you got to be that other fucking person. Stand up as social media. You know, if the guy had taken a couple hours, take a couple hours, man. Take a little fucking cheap ass laptop, go to one of your cafes, sit there and fucking stand up as social media for Marko fucking Srujovic or whatever. Now you're fucking set, dude. You can even have on your fucking social media a little piece about how you lived in America as a kid. And that's why you speak such good fucking English. You're going to have to bust your fucking ass to get back up to speed in fucking Croatian or whatever. But you can at least fucking float this, dude. You can at least float this fucking thing. And when the chick asks you, like, where's our social media? Now you can fucking say, like, oh, it's right here. Check it out. Throw in some pictures from the States. Throw in some pictures of you with your friend, your cousin, who you came out to visit and decided you wanted to stay. This can fucking work, man, but instead you came with nothing. So in terms of the way this dude got pinched then was, I guess, was like these little probes. I think the thing with the locker was a probe. The girl at the front desk, I think, was definitely a probe. He said he had gone to this fucking gym, and the way this dude talked was like, this one fucking day I went in there, I was just going to do like some boxing, some jump rope and this shit. And I fucked up and I went in there and I was in a room that had no other ways out. And I saw a guy walk and turn and look in the window and immediately turn and walk away again. And I just kind of knew, like I saw by just the way he was and his haircut and this, that he was probably a cop and I was probably going to get rolled up. Dude, the thing about it though is that the way the guy talks is that like, yeah, if I had only not gone to the gym that one fucking day, if those other people, if those were a probe, that first guy that helped you, that guy could have been a guy that comes in there, you know, damn near every day, you know, just to see if you're there. You know, go get a workout and see if that guy is there. The girl at the desk, that could have been somebody that like, the next time this guy shows up, you fucking call. Because he's not fucking Romanian. He's pretending to be here. You know, he's a fucking wanted fugitive. Give us a call if he shows up. Okay. So it could have not mattered. Like, you go that day, you go a week later, you go 2 weeks later. These fucking people are waiting for you, dude. So in that sense, what you have to do is look at the way that these people proceed with looking to hem you up. And then you can start looking at like, all right, how can this not be me? So the way that it functions for them is like I was talking about, like it's going to start big picture, like we got to find this fucking guy. What do we know about him? We know he likes nice cafes. We know he likes the nice gyms. Those are the places that we know that he goes to. Because I don't know if they have his other social media, you know, his normal social media. They probably did, and he probably had a bunch of shit in there about that. About like, yeah, there's the places I like to fucking go, shit I like to do. Get rid of that shit, all right? I like going to fucking libraries and church. Okay, great. They can look for that shit. So if they know that this is where you like to go, like I said, they're going to start focusing on these places. Maybe they go and just give a quick ask, because what the fuck does that take? A few minutes, man. Like, hey, anybody sees anything like this, you let us know. Anything. As soon as they hear something, like a foreigner checks in here, a foreigner starts staying here, coming here, you let us know. Yeah, we had a foreigner come here. I don't know if it's him or somebody else. Just, you asked me to let you know, I'm letting you know. Okay, easy. Now they could have like a whole stack of fucking candidates, but with all those little indicators, it starts getting smaller. So what they start doing now is as soon as I can rule somebody out, I'm going to rule him out. So is he a native speaker? Yes, fucking rule him out. Is he 7 feet tall? Yes, rule him out. Is he 3 feet tall? Rule him out. Is he 50 years old? Rule him out. All right, so now this list starts getting smaller and smaller real fucking quick. So where you were looking at like 100 guys, you know, fucking foreigners from different places, now you're looking at a much, much smaller group. And now it doesn't take as long. Now they're going to start developing pattern of life. Like, where does this guy go? Does he have a cell phone? How often does he come in here? What they're going to want to do is confirm that you are the fucking guy, and then start looking at how can we target this guy. So when you see these little indicators, when you start seeing like people asking for things, people doing little probes, finding out more about you, this kind of shit, seeing the same faces, different places, the same look in different places. Like you see a guy who dresses like this, you know, the fucking casual walking surveillance cop guy or whatever. You see him pass through the gym once. Maybe that's just a guy who dresses like that. Like, you know, it's just a guy who dresses like that wanting to see if this is a good gym. But now you see the same guy or a guy that dresses just like him at a cafe you go to. Maybe you see the same guy at the cafe later, but dressed different. Like, all right, dude, these are fucking indicators. Same faces, different places. All right, this is should be a huge red flag. So the thing about this, man, is, and I feel like maybe this is a white people problem, is that we refuse to rely on the sixth sense, right? Because we like to be very logic-oriented, facts-driven. There's nothing especially wrong with that. However, when you look at, you've got 5 fucking senses, man. And one thing, you know, might tell you not a whole fuck of a lot. But when you start pairing it up with other things, this can start telling you something. So I guess, I think I had talked about this before, and this was like an example that I always use when I talk about this shit. Say you work in a fucking office, and you don't have a girlfriend, but there's this hot girl in accounting, right? And you've cruised by and you've shown some interest and you're like, hey, how you doing? But now all the body language is like, man, fuck you, dude. Do not talk to me. Now, later on, somebody tells you that, oh yeah, she has this guy she's been seeing. She's, it's not going well with them. Maybe give it some time. You know, you don't know how things work out. Now, the next week you get a promotion. And now suddenly, you know, this girl walks by, starts walking by your desk where you didn't never notice her walking by your desk before. You start noticing like, oh, I smell her perfume. I think maybe she's wearing perfume. I don't remember her ever wearing perfume before. You start noticing that anytime you interact with her, her body language is a little more open and she's like standing facing you, like not closed off at all. You ask her a question, she answers with more than a one-word answer. Oh, these are all positive changes. So now each of these things taken on their own, right? Each of these things taken on their own, the way that she's standing, the way that she smells, how often you see her, each of those things by themselves don't really mean shit. Maybe she walked by all the time, but you had your head up your ass, you weren't paying attention. Maybe she always wears perfume, you just didn't never fucking notice. Or maybe you had a stuffy nose and you never fucking noticed. Or maybe, you know, she wore it for a long time and then ran out and then bought some more and now you fucking noticed. Maybe she had heard that you were a fucking kook and then somebody set her straight and was like, no, not that guy, that other guy, he's a fucking kook, that guy's all right. Oh, okay. Any of these fucking things could happen. But all of these things taken together, all right? You see her more. She's presenting as more attractive. She's more engaging with you. All of these things can be indicators of interest taken together. By themselves, they mean nothing. Taken together, it paints a much clearer picture. It's the same thing with this shit. One thing can be nothing, like seeing a guy that you saw before. Maybe it's not that big of a town. Maybe we like the same shit, right? Some woman talking to you when like you don't really have any reason to be talking to me, especially good-looking women. Good-looking women don't really engage with anybody. They can have whatever they want. They don't have to chase your ass down. They're definitely not going to social media stalk you. That's something fucking weird. Any of these things can happen, but not all together. Not all together. This should have been an immediate, holy fuck, I gotta go right fucking now. So I think that this is something that, as logic and facts driven people, we tend to discard that, like, no, this is just this one thing. No, this is just this one thing. If you're willing to take these things together, though, what do all of these things have in common, man? Like, all of these things that are happening, what do these things tell you? Listen to that shit. I can tell you, like, one time I had a deal where I was talking to a guy that was giving information, and this guy, it was just kind of the scene that it wasn't on its own entirely fucking weird, but a guy showed up and started talking about something that I had not talked to him about, and was talking about, I don't know if you should do that. You should probably do something else. Maybe do something, go a different direction, go a different way. And I wouldn't fucking hear it. Like a fucking local national, and I can't be specific, sorry, obviously. But these local nationals, man, a lot of these motherfuckers, like, you're not a fucking operator. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They'll always want to give some kind of operational opinion of, like, I would do this. Like, I don't care what you would do, man. This is not your job. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just give me the information. But this guy starts talking about, I would not go that way. I would go a different way. I'm telling you, I would go, if it was me, I wouldn't go that way. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. I'm like, you're just a friend of a friend type thing. And in this setting, this was semi-normal where, somebody that's not my primary information asset is, chiming in. And I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck what your input is, dude. I don't need to hear this shit. Later then, I'm going to do this thing, and I go this specific way, and out of nowhere, start getting shot at by like 4 motherfuckers. And I'm like, dude, this is not a fucking accident, man. So next time I meet with this one guy, I'm like, where's that other motherfucker that was here last time? The guy with that fucking mustache. Where's that motherfucker? I need to have a word. And he's like, I don't know who that was, dude. He's like a friend of somebody else in this organization that I don't know that well. And I think he left town. And I'm like, well, if you ever see him again, you fucking tell him that I have something for him. You know what I mean? So the thing about this was that when this guy's talking to me, like, it was normal for these fucks to chime in and like, here's what I would fucking do. And, you're like, shut the fuck up. But when this guy's talking, it was definitely like, this is not a normal way to talk, man. And then some of the other things that were coming up with, like, I never seen this guy before. And I wasn't paying close enough attention to the guy that, my central guy that I'm talking to, because when he's talking to me now, after the fact, and now he's like trying to like, dude, yeah, I wasn't comfortable. I'm not paying a fuck attention to how this guy is acting, because if I had seen all of these things, they're like, here's a new face, saying shit a new way, and he's making this guy very fucking uncomfortable. If I was fucking smart, I would pay attention to all of these things together and go, oh, something's not right here. Why don't I hang you upside down for a while until I get to the bottom of it? And then things would start making sense. And then I don't have to get shot at, right? But, lesson learned, man. So this is why this is something I kind of beat on. They're like, dude, the little things by themselves, not important. The little things all together, do any of these things go with other things that are happening? Should you be fucking noticing something? It's very possible. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just make this the mega episode, and we'll wrap this up with some bad noise on some cinema I recently witnessed. So yesterday I was saying, man, I had a pretty good day. I had a good day of half guard training, and I say, yeah, man, I'm gonna reward myself. I got some good snacks, and I go back to the pad, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna have a nice beer, and I'm gonna watch a movie and have some snacks. And I can't find any fucking good movies of late, dude. I've had a real motherfucker of a time finding anything worth watching. So I'm just like thumbing through and like, is there anything that doesn't look tedious and stupid? And I was going to watch that Civil War movie again. Not a movie about the Civil War. I mean, the movie called Civil War, where it's, but I was like, you know what, dude, I'll sit here and I'll start fucking analyzing it. And I don't want to sit through that. So I'll find something else. So now like you bump down one to like, related to this fucking title. And I see this movie from 2024 called American Insurrection. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I haven't even heard of this before. And I look at it and it's like it shows the previews. And like, when you see some movies and it's like, it looks like somebody filmed it on a handy cam or some shit, or like it's filmed like a stage play by somebody that just doesn't have a vision to like give me a different look, man. Give me something that's not like just two people talking. Like, this is tedious. But I'm looking at it, and it appears to have like some decent production value. Like, somebody put some time and effort into it. I'm like, all right, man, what's this shit about? Yeah, like, the government is in upheaval. The America is fallen, and they're fucking rounding people up, and how will we escape in this shit? And I'm like, this might be all right. This might be entertaining at least. Like, I'll look at that. So I fire this thing up, and it is not 2 fucking minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And dude, it's I can't say enough, man. I can't say enough. This is fucking incredible. So I don't even know where to start, dude. I don't know where to start. I'm not going to tell you the whole fucking plot of the movie, and I'm not going to recommend you watch it because it was fucking stupid. I'll just give you the general idea, man. I'm going to bounce around a little bit because it's so fucking kooky. It's fucking crazy. So here's the deal, was that the idea here is that America has fallen, and they're starting to, like, undesirables are being rounded up. So undesirables, that includes like homosexuals and Muslims, and I don't remember what else. It's fucking feminists. Yeah, lesbians, all this, rounding them up. And they're putting like a barcode on their neck, right? Like fucking tattooing a barcode on their neck. So the idea here is that they're rounding these people up, and they're going to put them in camps or some shit like this. And they've got groups of people called volunteers. And volunteers are just regular people who will go out and find these people and round them up or kill them. And the volunteers have like a radio network, and they're all white, and they're all like rednecks and stupid, but they're also very, very dangerous and organized. So like, obviously you could see like the contradictions kind of start early with this shit. So there's this house where there's these 4 people living in this house, and there's a doctor. I'm fucking dying laughing talking about this shit. So there's like a doctor, and he is married to this Muslim woman. He's a white dude, a white doctor, married to this Muslim woman, this boxy-assed, middle-aged Muslim woman. And they're staying in this house with this guy that looks like he's maybe half Muslim, but he's got blue eyes, but they look like contacts. So you're like, what is this meant to be, dude? Like, maybe he's like a street shitter / Muslim, but he's just light enough skinned where he can pass for white, but then you get closer and he's got blue eyes. Okay. And then his wife is this fucking dykey, shaved-headed cunt that wears combat boots and walks around bossing everybody around. Which she needs to, because the men in this house are kind of soft and undecided and uncertain. But it's the women, the strong, capable, insightful women that know what needs to be done, and they're going to make the decisions. They're going to make this thing happen, right? So the idea here is they're going to wait and listen to the radio every day, and at some point their contact in Canada, in stupid Canada, is going to give them a call with some coordinates of where they can cross the border, and they're going to escape to safety in Canada, where things are safe. So they've got this shit, and now one day they discover this gay Filipino. It's fucking incredible. A gay Filipino running through the bush, or no, he's not running through the bushes. He got rolled up by some, bunny ears volunteers who were beating the shit out of them, but the dykey lesbian woman kicked both their asses, was beating the shit out of one of them and shot him, and then the Filipino shot the other one. So things worked out, right? It was okay. So they do this shit. So they're all living in this house, and they got to brief up this Filipino on the story, on like, here's what we're gonna do. And they brief this fucking faggot up, And like, yeah, we're waiting on radio comms. So they just sit by the radio all day, every day. So again, very leftist thing to do. Like, you dumb motherfuckers never thought to implement something like, why don't we have fucking windows? Like, it could be a 3-hour window at the beginning of the day, a 3-hour window at the end of the day. You know, you could fucking have this instead of having somebody on that fucking thing all goddamn day. But you're a bunch of dipshit leftists, so you don't have the goddamn sense to do anything like this. But, you know, we'll get to that. We'll come to that. It's incredible, this fucking thing. So they're briefing the gay Filipino up on this thing. And they all have some drinks, you know, to celebrate, you know, whatever, finding another fucking degenerate that's going to escape with them to make Canada a better place. And they're having drinks, and everybody else goes to bed except the doctor, who, like, as soon as you see it, like the fucking leaning in, like, this guy's a faggot. Like, this guy's gay as a day is long. And you're like, okay, I can already see what happens. The doctor hooks up with the faggot, the Muslim woman is hurt, and now the whole thing starts to disintegrate because everything leftists do disintegrates. And it eventually goes that way, but not without a lot of other hijinks. So in the meantime now, the Muslim woman says to the fucking the Pajit looking guy with the blue-eyed Pajit says to him that in front of the Filipino guy, I'm gonna go and feed the dog. And he's like, okay. And the gay Filipino is like, what's that about? And like, we'll tell you later. As it turns out, then these tolerant leftist fucks, and again, this is like a very, very leftist story. Like, all the dialogue, the way that the men talk, like the bunny ears doctor. I'm not a real doctor. I was a nurse, actually, and I was attending medical school when everything fell apart. And the gay Filipino, who he helped patched up after he managed to kill those 2 white supremacists, is like, could have fooled me. Like, all the fucking dialogue is very gay and leftist, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So it's like a movie made by leftists for leftists, but it's like, I don't know, fucking some woman or some shit wrote this. So it's all very clumsy and stupid, and like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? But that's what makes it so fucking hilarious, right? So I'm watching this shit, and so this woman's gonna go feed the dog. So she walks out there, and as it is, they've got this guy chained up in the fucking barn, right? They've got this barn, and there's a guy chained up in there. As it turns out, the guy that they've got chained up in there is a bunny ears volunteer who lives there. It's his fucking house, and they've got him chained up in here. She goes out there with like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and it throws him a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and they've got like a line on the ground where like, you can't go across this line or he'll kill you. And so they've got this guy chained up out there, like making him shit in a bucket and feeding him peanut butter jelly sandwiches. And God damn it, so again, this is like lefty logic, right? So he's a fucking threat. He was a volunteer, so we can't trust him. We're just gonna use his property, and then we'll kill him or turn him loose or something. All right, so that's their fucking plan, right? So now they've also got a walkie-talkie where the bunny ears volunteers stay in contact with each other, but they have to keep this thing turned on because one of them is going to pretend to be him whenever he calls, or is going to pretend to be the owner of the house whenever, you know, somebody calls to do like a radio check or some shit. So now one day they fucking call on the radio and they're like, hey, we got something going, man. We're going to come and pick you up. And now they're fucking all in panic mode. And of course, the feminist broad is wearing a shirt that says Wild Feminist, just her Wild Feminist t-shirt and her fucking combat boots. That's all she's got on because she's a fucking serious person. So they're all in fucking panic mode. And holy shit, they're going to show up. What if they know that, like, it's not him? No, they only call him by his number, so they don't even know what he looks like. So they show up to pick up this guy. And now the fucking blue-eyed Pajit is going to go out there and pretend to be the guy that lives there, and they're going to go do whatever they're going to do. So they're like, just put on his clothes, put on his uniform or whatever, and go out there. So he goes out there, and they pull up, the other volunteers pull up, and they're all wearing orange, like orange camouflage and orange all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you Oh, orange. I get it. Yeah, it's a Trump joke, dude. I get your, okay, clever, super clever. One clever lefty fucking point, dude. So they're all wearing fucking orange. And you know, you could say like, oh, it's hunter orange. No, it's not hunter orange. It's like gang colors. They wear it more like gang colors. Like they're not wearing safety vests. They're wearing shit with like an orange hat, you know, orange camouflage pants, this kind of shit. So it's very much like their gang colors. Okay, I get it. I see what you're fucking doing. So they show up and pick this guy up, and he somehow, you know, he's gonna fake it that even though he's kind of a puss and kind of indecisive and just generally kind of sucks, like he's gonna fake it that he's some kind of a tough guy, and like he's just gonna say, "Fuck yeah, brother," and that's gonna pass. Because, you know, really these people are stupid. They're inbred rednecks, but they're also very dangerous and organized. So, you know, whatever, he has to go with them that day. So he goes with them and comes back at night, and he's running on about, oh, bro, I got to wash my eyes out. I had to kick some woman's face in and enjoy it. And like, what the fuck is this stupid shit, man? So it was just fucking hilarious. All right, so I ain't gonna bore you with the whole fucking movie because the whole movie was fucking bad, dude. So it was really like, what would you imagine leftists imagining, you know, being oppressed looks like, but then also at the same time, like completely blind to the idea that like, yeah, you went to some guy's house and chained him up and made him shit in a bucket because you just say you needed his property, but it's okay because he's intolerant of you. And you know, over the course of the film, like the Muslim woman just keeps going out there. And the basic gist of her conversation with this guy is like, who hurt you, sweaty, is the long and short of it. So, you know, eventually through her woman logic and Muslim reasoning, you know, talks this guy into understanding that like, you're only angry at you know, gays and Muslims because your wife left you and because you have PTSD because you went to war for imperialist America. And then like the lights come on for him and like, well, you're not so bad. And I guess, you know, I could help you guys and I could see a way to did it. But then as it happens, like the doctor who does eventually turn out to be a full-on queer goes out there and shoots the guy. And then when everybody runs out there and his Muslim wife runs out there to like, oh my God, you killed a man. Why did you do this? And he was going to help us in this shit. And now the gay doctor just shoots himself in the head. And it's like, what's comedy to me is that this is the most leftist fucking thing I've ever seen. Like if I wrote it, it couldn't be more fucking stereotypical. That like, it's not that you got hunted down by your bunny ears enemies. It's not that the odds were just too high, or it's not that like you just starved and it's winter and the resources weren't there. It's that you just fucked yourselves over. Like you brought in this fancy Dan and like this Muslim woman's husband just couldn't, you know, how can you resist a Filipino ladyboy, right? I mean, what's not to like, right? So now he has to kick the Filipino ladyboy out of the house. He gets rolled up by the orange-clad volunteers. They all decide that like, fuck it, we're just fucking going. But right then the fucking, you know, the bunny ears volunteers show up because they heard the gay doctor shoot the fucking guy in his barn, and they showed up. We heard gunshots. Like you heard a pistol in a barn from however the fuck far away. Stop it. Fucking stop it. You're like, tell me you don't know what a gun sounds like without telling me you don't know what a gun sounds like, right? So they all show up armed to the teeth 10 minutes later, and they're talking to blue-eyed Haji. and he's like, as they're pulling up, he's like, when I make a move, you guys just run to the truck and get out of here. Like, right, he's going to fight him off as you make your escape, right? Like, he's the guy that the planning is for. So he's going to fucking fight him off. And so there's like 5 of them and 1 of him standing on the porch. And they're like, hey, is there somebody else living here? And he like lunges for 1 of them. And like they all pile on him. So obviously he's just fucked. So it's the Muslim broad and the dyke chick make their getaway in a pickup truck that, like, I don't know, whose pickup truck is this? Where did you get that? You know, you provided nothing for yourself. You're obviously helpless. So they make their escape, and now as they're driving, they're like, how are we gonna link up with anybody? What are we gonna do? And the Muslim chick is like, they'll just find us. How? They just will. And that's like really the summary, I guess, of everything Lefty. Like, it'll just work itself out. That's the way they do everything. So they'll just find us. We'll just figure it out. We'll just find somewhere to cross into Canada. It's their entire fucking life slogan is, I don't fucking know, it'll work itself out. Surprise, surprise, then they pull up to a fucking Orange Man checkpoint, and they've got their gay Filipino guy hemmed up. I can't remember. I was laughing so hard at this point. Like, they snatched the fucking Muslim chick out of the car. She's like, when I make my move, get the gay boy and get out of here. So she gets out of the car and starts acting like a black chick. What you want to stop me for? What the fuck? And draws all of them away, magically draws all of them except one away, and then runs off into the woods, and they all chase her. Like, wow, that sure did work good. And the other chick then just slides over into the fucking seat, and here comes the fucking gay Filipino, and he whacks the other guy on the head with the Captain Kirk double fucking fist fucking swing. And he knocks out. And like, what the fuck is this, dude? Just knocks him out. The guy's out cold. So they jump in the car and they drive away. And that's the fucking, that's the happy ending, is a shaved-headed dyke lesbian and a Filipino gay boy escape into the sunset. And I was fucking dying. I was like, that's fucking it? That's your fucking story? Like, dude, and I gotta wonder, like, when lefties watch this shit, what do they fucking think of it? Do they think, like, yeah, you go, wow, they really beat the odds? Like, dude, you honestly had, like, a fairly simple fucking scenario here. Like, I don't know where they were meant to be or whatever. It looked like some, I don't really know. But a heavily wooded area with one house. It's not really apparently close to anything. So it's like, what is the idea here? If you're like, I don't know, you just want to fucking escape. Like, the dyke chick in this story is talking about she's been to Canada before, but what, you can't remember your way back there? It talks about like how she's helped lots of other people escape. You'll go to the fucking crossing points and I can help you. But you don't know how to get back there now? Like, you can't just miracle your way there. Instead, you got to sit and wait for help. Okay, yeah, I can see your idea of like, I want to wait for a pickup. But what do you think? Canada's going to get easier as winter approaches or some shit? I don't know. So if you want to stay and fight, then you got a house in the middle of fucking nowhere. You can't put together some kind of booby traps. You can't set up, knowing that people are going to show up if they hear a gunshot. Like, pop, pop, pop. Okay, let's go investigate. There's going to be 5-6 people at least showing up. You can drop 5 or 6 people. If you can't ambush 5 or 6 people, you got bigger problems. All right, you could do that, and probably just keep doing that, because there's going to be gunshots. More people will show up. More gunshots. More people show up. This is fairly simple, I would imagine. But it doesn't work out that way. And quite honestly, I think it's just because lefties don't think of this shit. One, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Two, they're their own worst enemy. And what I thought was hilarious, dude, is that, like, you couldn't even make a film about lefties kicking ass or lefties, really fucking people up. Like, you couldn't even do that. You had to do a thing of like, yeah, we're helpless. We can't do anything. And the people we're fighting against are so fucking stupid and bad and inbred and all of this shit, but I can't do anything. So I'm even lower than these people, I guess. It was fucking hilarious, dude. I mean, I enjoyed the shit out of it. I thought it was a really good insight into just how pathetic these people are. But it also kind of suggested that these people kind of think that there is something coming down the pipe, I guess. But what is hilarious is that it's like, if you look back to the COVID thing, it's like you were the motherfuckers talking about, we want to put people in camps. We want to, like, brand people. We want to take people's kids away. We want to do all this shit. But now suddenly the shoe is on the other hand, and you're like, oh my God, like nobody is talking about, whether I think it's a good idea or not is not the issue, because it probably is a good idea. Nobody is talking about rounding anybody up. I mean, if they started doing it, I'd be right there on the spot fucking all about it. But nobody's talking about that. The only people who've ever talked about that is these people. But now, as soon as they don't get to be in charge anymore, it's like, oh my God, you're going to put us in camps. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. So it's like everything, Lefty, dude. It's fucking tedious and silly and makes no goddamn sense at all, and really only speaks to their own inability to take care of themselves, I guess, more than anything. But anyway, with that, man, God damn, dude. I'm driving through a fucking neighborhood, these fucking boomers. Tell me if you've seen this shit. What the fuck is wrong with walking on the fucking sidewalk? It's called a sidewalk, to walk at the side of the road. What the fuck is it with boomers walking in the middle of the fucking street? This pisses me off to no end. God damn. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to cut away. If you think of it, now I'm like fucking hoarse. I've been talking for 2 fucking hours. Anyway, for all your coffee needs, go to Above Time Coffee. AboveTimeCoffee.com. Put it in a cup. Put it in your mouth. It's for you. It's good stuff. I actually had some this morning. I think I'm going to go get some more right now because I'm entirely too calm and collected. If you dig this, actually, you can find it anywhere crummy content is pervade, Spotify, the Apple. You can also get it pretty much direct from the tap at the Telegram channel, t.me/theabusehour, or associated chat, t.me/rant room. So until next time, I hope most of the stuff that we talked about you never have a good reason to employ, and you won't have to so long as you can keep your eyes on the horizon and keep your neck out of the noose, because I have been Coffee, and these are my takes. All right.